Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Keep Parenting. Thanks for joining us. It's been a few weeks since I've posted a video. It's been a little crazy of a school year start, a semester start, right? And anyway, I'm just excited to be back on course again. But if you've forgotten, we're reading from Easy to Love, Difficult to Discipline, the 7 basic skills for turning conflict into cooperation. And so if you've gone back and looked at a couple of the other videos, we've talked about choices, right? And how to help them make real choices and not false choices. And how do you help them make choices, right? So the next part of our discussion is going to focus on helping children who have trouble making choices, right? We talked about this in my university class this morning when we were talking about, like sometimes the kids are like, I don't know what to do. And I'll say, well, you've got all of these choices, right? So what do you want to do? I don't know. So I'll say, well, take my hand. You can hold this hand or you can hold this hand, and we'll go around and we'll show you what the choices are. So we do that. And I still get I don't know what to do. Sometimes they even say, there's too many choices, right? And so one of the things that we need to be adept at is being able to help them make those choices, right? Because part of our self-esteem is connected to how well our ability to make choices, right? And then accept that responsibility, right? Accept the consequences for those choices. And we were talking about it once again in class, and we were kind of laughing about it today with my college students. And I said, how many of you like to make choices about where to go to dinner? And, all of them are just like, no. And I said, that's right, because as women, we have been taught to please, right? So in social situations, we just try to please everybody, right? So where do you want to go to dinner? Oh, I don't care, you choose. Oh, no, I don't really care, right? And so I was telling them about an experience when we had this, and one of my friends said, well, let's go to this place, Green Panda. Oh my gosh, I do not like Green Panda, right? But I had to accept that consequence because I didn't give her any other choices, right? And so I went to Green Panda and I was not happy about it. But I ate something because that was me accepting the consequence of my decision, right? Not to say anything. And so anyway, as we think about this, we have to work on ourselves first before we can help children really make choices, right? Sometimes I have been labeled and accused of having an opinion, right? And one of my friends even said, well, we have to make choices all the time. And so since you're single and you don't have any children, then how about you make the decision? And I wanted to say, do you know how many decisions I have to make every day? Because nobody else makes decisions in my life. Anyway, it's a back and forth, right? But we're thinking about children, right? And helping them make decisions. But we have to look at ourselves too and see if we can make decisions, right? And so we're trying to help these kids make choices, right? And so as we look inside ourselves and see if we have a problem making choices, then we can work on that and then we can help them. So children who have problems making choices fall into 3 categories, right? The first one is those who refuse to make a choice, right? The second one who resist the structure, right? So this is A and this is B and they want to choose C. Well, C is not an option, right? And then the third category is those who change their minds. Well, I think I want to go here. No, I want to go here. So A and B and then back to A and back to B, right? So we've got those 3 categories. And so today, what we're going to talk about is the first one, right? Is helping children who refuse to choose. And I would say that even that child who, I don't know what to do, is refusing to choose, right? And so one of the things that we have to remember, the first thing that we have to remember is we don't want to fight our child's temperament, right? We know by the time they get to be 3, by the time they're born, that they have a certain temperament, right? They've come with that temperament, right? So our job is to learn how to best respond to that temperament, right? Rather than fighting against it. So some of the children come into the lab school And they're so excited. They're like, I'm going to go to dramatic play, right? Because it's a castle this week and they love dressing up, right? I have some kids that are like, right? I had a child this week. This is what he looked like. So we had our masks on. We wear our masks. And we were talking about body language, right? And how because we have masks on that it's hard for us to see what people are really feeling because we don't see half of their face. And so I said, boys and girls, we've got to learn how to smile with our eyes. And so they had their masks on, right? And they're smiling. And some of them are like, blinking a lot to help me know that they're happy. This one little boy, he pulls down his mask. He's like, this is my happy face, Miss Dory. It's a good thing I had a mask on that day, right? Because sometimes it's hard for him to choose centers. There's too many choices. Okay, well, let me just give you 2 choices then, right? Well, I don't really like those, right? And so his temperament, after 4 weeks in school, I have figured out is I need to help him make those choices, right? So when they're having a hard time, right, making the choices, there's 3 things again that we want to do. The first one is we want to point out the choices that he made throughout the day. So when this little guy made choices this week, I'm like, way to go, buddy. You're choosing to be at the puppet center. I said, what kind of a puppet are you making? And sometimes he still gives me that look like, really, Miss Dory, this is a duh, right? But I want him to recognize that he can make choices, right? So I point that out to him. And I say, way to go. And he went to dramatic play this week. First time in 4 weeks he's been to dramatic play. I said, way to go, buddy. I said, what'd you play with over here? I can see you hanging out over here. He said, well, kind of like the throne room. We have a throne room in a castle, right? I kind of like sitting in the throne room. Great. What are you doing in the throne room? Just thinking. All right. But at least he made that choice. I said, way to go. You made a choice to come to dramatic play. Right. And this is a child who has struggled to come to school, right? He's not been too excited about it. He'd rather kind of stay home. And so this is something that we're really, I think, making progress with, right? Is pointing out to him the many times throughout the day that he does make choices so he can see himself, because the minute that's going to make his front lobal part of his brain more mature every time he makes those choices, right? The second thing that we can do is offer children small choices, right? So, for example, I say to them, sometimes I will say to them, so we're going to cross the street. So when we go over and find our safe place, right? We're going to cross the street today, so you need to hold my hand. You can either hold this hand or you can hold this hand, right? So it's not listed as how you get to cross the street or not. No, right? We are going to cross the street. And so the small choice is, are you going to hold my right hand or are you going to hold my left hand, right? And we go from there. As they grow, right? That's one of the things that we're trying to help them with is help them to make bigger choices. So as they get better and better with those, then we say, so who do you want to invite over to play today? Which may be totally out of their realm of comfortability, right? But we say to them, so do you want to invite Johnny over today or do you want to invite Chrissy over today? Right? So that, like, who do you want to invite over today? Oh my gosh, you're overwhelming me. But when you give me small choices, then I can be successful at that. And the third thing is model acceptance of mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. We do a lot of rewinding with the children. Sometimes the kids will call me out, Miss Dora, you said that was going to be the last one. You're right, boys and girls, I need to rewind, right? Or I'll rewind myself, right? I'll say, oh, that is so confusing when I say it that way. Let me rewind and start over again, right? I'm modeling to the kids that it's okay to make a mistake, right? Let me read you this scenario from the book. I just love it. Father says, where's my screwdriver? You kids are always borrowing my tools without permission. Who took it? Speak up. I've had it. I don't lose your things. It's important to respect other people's property. That movie you wanted to see is out of the question now, right? Where's the natural consequence there, right? But Dad, his daughter says, and he snaps back, don't but Dad me. You should know better. What's gotten into you? Then his son says, Dad, you took those screwdrivers to Grandma's house when you went to fix her cabinets. Oh. The father realizes that he's made a serious mistake. He's not only blamed his children, he has attacked them. he realizes that this is a perfect time to use the think aloud technique. Now, the think aloud technique is when we call it self-talk to the teachers. I say we use a lot of self-talk, right? So that we can talk with the children, but they're not necessarily talking back to us, right? So he says, well, I made a big mistake. I was angry about the missing screwdriver. Actually, I was really upset because my boss yelled at me today. I felt so rotten about work that I took it out on you too. I blamed you and tried to make you feel as rotten as I felt. I owe you an apology, kids. I'm sorry for my behavior. Next time I feel upset, I'm going to breathe deeply and think before I talk, right? So I love the fact that he, well, number one, that he used that think aloud strategy, right? But I also love the fact that he handled, he modeled constructive handling of a mistake, right? Sometimes we're afraid to do that in front of our kids. Why? We do make mistakes. We want them to be able to make mistakes, right? And then make a commitment to change. And that's what he did. He made a commitment to change his behavior. We had a little situation this week because many children are taught, young children, right? Their moral reasoning is not on target, on line, if you will, in their brain until they're 7 or 8. And we just say to them, say you're sorry. And they think that sorry takes care of everything, right? It just eliminates the problem. When in reality, they haven't done anything to make the situation better, right? And that's what we're trying to teach them at this age. We had a situation where a little boy was throwing a ball this last week. It hit a little girl in the face, and it was totally an accident. But she's crying, and so the little boy has his hands in his pockets, and he's looking at me like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? So I have her come over, I have him come over, we sit on the couch. She tells me what happened, and he's like, just give her some candy. And I said, well, actually, I don't know that she wants candy. Let's ask her. So he said, do you want some candy? And she's like, no, I just want this hurt to go away. And I said to him, so how can we make the hurt go away? I don't know, give her some more candy, right? He was kind of looped into this whole candy situation. And I said, well, maybe she needs some boo-boo cream, right? We have some boo-boo cream that we use in the classroom when our heart is hurting or our body's hurting. And so I said, would you like some boo-boo cream? And she's like, yeah. So he goes over and he gets the boo-boo cream. He comes back. He's like, I don't know how to do this, right? He's trying to hold it and squirt it. I said, well, I can help you. And so he's holding it and I squirt it on her boo-boo, right? And it goes all over her arm. She's busting up laughing, which makes him laugh, which makes me laugh. And we have this beautiful moment together, right? And I said, so basically what just happened was you didn't mean to throw a ball, but it hit her. And she needs something to make her feel better. And so you're the one that's going to help her do that because you caused the accident. And he's like, I know. And she didn't want any candy. I said, you're right. So what did she want? Some boo-boo cream? I said, yeah. And so what we need to do now is make sure that when we're throwing the ball that there's nobody around us. He said, I know, right? And so helping them to understand that it was an accident. Yes, it was. And it doesn't matter really, right? I still hurt you. And what can I do to make it better? I remember a child who was hurt by somebody at the carpet. And we were having this kind of same conversation. So what can they do to make it better? And the little boy just said, I just need some kisses right here. And so the little girl just bent over and gave him 3 kisses right on his head, right? And so I just think that sometimes we cause children to say they're sorry when they don't really understand what that means. But if we can help them take care of the problem, right? And then commit that we're not going to do it again, right? So next time you play with that ball, sweetie, you need to take it outside or you need to take it over where somebody else. Yep, I got it. So anyway, as we think about this week, choices and self-esteem and how it affects our self-esteem, right? And we can focus on those 3 things, right? When children are refusing to make a choice, that we point out the many choices he's already made. We offer them small choices, right, that involve something close to you, right, because they're connected to you, they feel close to you, and then we model acceptance of our mistakes. So let's try it this week, my friends. Happy choicing while we're out there. Have a great day.